go ahead and start. Thank you and welcome to the November 5th, 2024 Angels Camp City Council meeting. Roll call please, Rose.
Mayor Herndon.
Present.
Vice Mayor Moncada.
Present.
Councilmember Berlio.
Present.
Councilmember Chimente.
Present.
Councilmember Sherrado.
Present.
Staff is present.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 5 is the report out of closed session. Item A is conference with our labor negotiators. Direction was given to staff. Item B, fire chief employment. Direction was also given to staff. And then on item C, city administrator public employment, we do have interviews starting up in the month of November and early December for a permanent position of first city administrator. So we gave direction to staff on that as well. Item 6, approve the agenda as posted or amended. Anybody have any reason to amend the agenda? Any member of the public? Okay, seeing none, I look for a motion on item 6.
So moved. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Rose?
Chimente.
Aye.
Berlio.
Aye.
Moncada.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Sherrado.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 7 is public comment. The public may address the council on any item of public interest not otherwise on the agenda that is within this jurisdiction of the city. No action may be taken. Matters to be addressed may be referred to city staff or placed on a subsequent meeting agenda, and speakers will be limited to 5 minutes per person. Do we have any public comment here tonight?
That's what we were doing, right?
We'll have you go up to the podium and introduce yourself.
Oh, I gotta do that?
That's okay.
I told you I'm like 4 years old.
So his family has a historic building. On.
You gotta introduce yourself. Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Jesse Wallace. Anyway, his family has a historic building as you drive from San Andreas into Angels Camp. It's a neat old building that was here before the highways were here. There's a lot of pictures that we have of history and all that. We're trying to renew it, rebuild it. We'd like to do it. We talked about it to set it up as a thing that shows the history of Angels Camp, Calaveras County, the state, some kind of agreement with that. We need help, and we can do it, but we don't have the money or the help, but we like to restore it and rebuild it. And we've looked through it a few times, and I planned some stuff out about, remilling some of the pieces and taking some of the parts of it and remilling them and rebuilding it. It's a good spot for people to pull into and kind of look at it and look at like the history of this area. Because there was gold digging around here, there was multiple things happening in this county. They're kind of historic, and showing that might be a good move to do it. Nobody's working on it, rebuilding. He's tried to, so his family can't do it. Everybody's busy with stuff, and it'd be nice to take, a little bit of time and work on it. But there's got to be money somehow coming in, or agreement with the county and the building department and everything that happens. So we're trying to figure out how to do that. Who to talk to in the state, the county, or the town. So.
Is this the old dance hall that's
Yeah.
at Brenner Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has the pictures of it with him, which can be looked at.
Yeah.
I printed one set of them out, but he has a lot of the historic pictures of it too. Yeah, people used to ride their horses in there, they time off, they drink water, there was bar, restaurant, hotel, everything was there. And that's where people would stay and they'd go across the highway, I guess, and dig for gold and all that. It was probably shovels back then, right?
Yeah. Definitely don't.
Great.
So yeah, he's got the pictures of it, so we're trying to find out how to step forward on this. And
So make sure that you give your contact information, and Rose can put you in touch with the right person at City Hall
what
to
I
get
did
you
was
directed in the right direction.
And I gave him the paperwork that shows it's written down, my contractor's license, my phone number for that, my mailing business, and the phone number for that too, and then him and his phone number.
Perfect.
And then we can be contacted. We want to know the best moves to move forward on
Yep.
rebuilding this building. It's so historic.
I would also reach out to Martin
I'll say Martin
Huberty
Huberty.
because, he's at the CVB, he's also a supervisor for Murphy's and Arnold, but he's
Yeah.
also quite the historian and knows a little bit about where some of the money you might be able to get after. I don't know if Amy
Yeah.
might be helpful too. And,
Yeah, we already talked about making the
Yeah,
seats
that's
for
what I was
Angels
thinking.
Camp Park out of the walnut tree.
oh,
Was from there. I went to Water District, picked those up, and took them up there, milled them ahead of time so they dried. And we're still working on that. It's gonna be done pretty soon, next couple weeks. So, and then we set it up, it's gonna be really nice. But the same thing is that building that we've talked about, it'd be good to move forward on that. I've worked on a lot of historic buildings, kind of rebuilding them and making parts for them and prepping them out. So it'd be good to have like a starting point where we should start at doing this right. So we already talked about this multiple times. You know, I don't know how many years now. We need to how to move forward and what to do the right way.
Just if you can share that piece of paper with your information on it, then we
Yeah.
can, yeah,
That's why I hand wrote that out. I started doing it this morning, and he has a picture with it that I printed out.
the picture's
And
right
it's
there.
now,
Uh-huh.
it's now the building, and then the old picture of it. That, and he has all the original copies and everything.
Is that the content?
I took
Oh.
this picture today.
Oh,
So,
oh,
just to give
wow.
you an idea, that's the back side, the front of the building, the original front, so. Yeah, it's, so it is, it's a shame.
Right as you drop
Oh,
down.
yeah, because you can kind of tell that part of it caved in
Yeah.
like more
Right.
recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
The other thing is too, we looked through it one time, and I said, hey, the nails are little square nails. Go around with your metal detector and have all the kids walk around and find all those little nails.
Yeah,
Because they're great historic nails. You can use them to frame a little bit, but show
yeah,
them. You know, a little hanger for stuff,
yeah.
which is great.
Good stuff.
Just make sure you give me that, the
Yeah.
contact.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Thanks, Jesse.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys want
His neighbor.
I know.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Thank you. You can leave that with him if you want. We
All
can.
right, any other public comment here with us tonight?
You did, yeah, no problem. That's great.
Okay, do we have nobody else online? Okay, seeing no other public comment, we'll close that and move on to item 8, which is consent agenda. We have one item, or the minutes from October 15th. I will be recusing myself from that because I didn't attend that meeting, but does anybody else have any reason to discuss that? I will also be recusing myself.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one item, and I look forward to, well, any public comment on this item, I should say. Seeing no public comment, looking for a motion.
So,
Second.
oh, what?
I was just gonna say, there was a, where it was noted, there was a sentence that didn't make sense, and I'm sorry,
Okay.
but I don't have, I will email it to you.
Yeah, let me know, I'll fix it. Motion and second, Shemente, Trolio,
Aye.
Moncada,
Abstain.
Herndon,
Abstain.
Sharada.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 9 is regular agenda. 9A is discussion and direction on the draft Prop 218 notice and set the public hearing. Michelle.
Yes, so we have Michael and Luana joining us from Bartle Wells, our consultants, and they're going to talk about the draft letter that you had included in the packet. That is the letter that we will send out to residents, and then the items for tonight would be to accept this letter so they can get it in the mail and set a date for the first hearing. So I'll let Michael take it from here.
I'll put it up on the screen in just a moment, Michael. But go ahead and start talking.
Yeah, so we have here the draft Proposition 218 notice, which is really your core piece of public relations when it comes to messaging your rates. And the California law requires that you send notice to property owners at least 45 days before the date of the public hearing. And so this is, and it also is required to explain why the rate increases are needed and explain what the rates fund, and also the procedural requirements for protesting the rate increases. So essentially, if a customer wants to submit a written protest to oppose the rates, they can do it by mail, or they can submit that in person before the close of the public hearing, but it has to be in writing, and it has to be by the property owner, although you also need to count protests from renters. However, I don't believe that they are required to receive a written notice. And there's also a statute of limitations that they're of 120 days for challenging any new increased or extended fees. And that is spelled out as well in the notice.
It's not working. There it goes.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Questions?
So Michael, in the narrative, it shared that the 3% is the maximum, but however, the city council has the ability to, the actual adjustments, they can change the actual adjustments on an annual basis, not to exceed 3%. Does it say that in the notice also, Michael?
Yes, so we put that in the footnotes.
Oh, it's a footnote.
You see it on, yes, on the rate table, it's footnote number 1. We said represents the maximum annual increase, and actual annual increases implemented may be less than proposed as approved by the city council.
Can we bold that, Michael?
Oh, definitely.
So that people understand that?
Yeah,
And Michael, can it say approved by city council each year? Because in fact, that's what we would be doing, is bringing it to the city council each year to decide what rates to increase up to the 3%, correct?
yeah, that's right.
I just think
You
it
can
makes
definitely add that in.
Like on an annual basis?
on an annual, yeah.
Annual
something-
basis?
yeah.
Yeah, it's annual basis.
But it's just more of a working, increase each and every year depending on the needs. I agree with some sort of highlight and caption. Okay, any other comments or questions? Mike?
Help me. We spent a lot of time talking about some relief for businesses, Michelle and Mike, but we just continued to stay with the same rates as they were. We weren't, no more thought was given to, since we're not doing anything different with that water, just the same rates as we're charging residential, we decided not to do that
That was
For
what,
wastewater or for?
for water.
that was the motion that.
That was the motion. So with all the discussion about how do we give some relief to the businesses, the decision and the motion was to continue with what we're currently doing.
With what was proposed.
Right.
Yeah.
what's-
It's a
what's-
little
was
different
proposed and-
because it has, we had looked at the flat rate for sewer, or, for sewer.
Okay,
And we had looked at matching that to the residential, but it was, you can still do that when we bring it on an annual basis. But to set the rates for the rate study, it was set at, it was a different flat rate for residential versus commercial.
commercial.
Okay, I'm gonna open this up for public comment. Do everybody that would like to make a public comment about our rate study? Seeing none and seeing nobody online, we will close public comment. Bring it back for any final discussion or questions.
Michael or Michelle, is it possible to raise, could we do, like, if we wanted to say residential is a certain amount and commercial would be another, or is that, if we say we're just gonna do a 1% or 2% increase, that applies to both residential and commercial? Or can you split it? That's my question.
Annually?
Yeah, on an annual.
So the rates have to be proportional, so you can't just, not increase, say, the residential, but increase the commercial or vice versa. So you would have to apply the percentage reduction to all the customer classes equally to comply with California law.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments?
And Michael, in terms of, sorry.
No.
The date for the hearing, we need to talk about that. And so, Michael, have you, it's 45 days from when we mail this letter, correct?
Yep, that's right.
So, I do have a comment on that.
On the days?
Yeah. if we mail it tomorrow, I'm not saying that we will, but if we do, 45 days is December 20th, which is after our second meeting in December, if we even have a second meeting in December, which makes our first opportunity for a public hearing the first meeting in January. January 7th, I'm not sure if we want to do that. That's the first day that the new council is seated and sworn in, and there's a whole lot going on that meeting. So we can either do it that meeting, or we can do it on January 21st, which is the second meeting in January, or have a special meeting specifically for this item. So it's, what is your preference? Is it along with all the other things we need to do on January 7th?
Yeah, I definitely think you should stay away from the second.
Second meeting.
Second
January
meeting, and I can't
21st.
speak on behalf of a special meeting because I don't know if I'll be sitting here, so.
Second meeting, and then, because there's gotta be 2 meetings, right? There's a first,
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna clarify.
Yeah.
right, there's a first and second, so if we need a special meeting in between, we could do that. Correct.
That's a question for Michael. If we have if we have a public hearing, if we notice in the letter that our public hearing is January 21st, is there a requirement to have a second public hearing?
So if you had a different date for the public hearing than what was in the notice?
No. Is there a requirement to only have one public
Is there
hearing?
1 or 2?
So you, just one public hearing. So what some agencies do is they continue the public hearing, but once the public hearing's closed, that's it. So there's really supposed to be only one public hearing.
But Michael, I think UPUD is doing an informational session and then they're doing their public hearing. Is that allowable? I'm not asking whether or not they're breaking. I'm just curious, could we do something like that?
You wanna do a
So you
workshop?
could have-
Like a workshop?
Yes, so that would be just separate from the public hearing. I have had some agencies do 2 public hearings, but that's typically if, say, they think that some members of the public can't make a certain time, so they want to accommodate that by having 2 public hearings. But this would just be a separate meeting during the notice period, kind of a workshop to kind of explain the rates and reach out to the community. You can definitely do that.
Okay.
My only concern is that we don't have a lot of attendance at our meetings.
Right.
So just a mailer and one public hearing might not
I'm good with the workshop.
accomplish.
Or
Or maybe,
open house or
but then I'm worried about this timeline, making a workshop be right around the holidays or right around the first of the year. Is there, can we push this off a little bit and do some workshops in January and then do a February council meeting for the,
As long as the
is that not messing with your timeline, Michael? Get
No,
away
that's
from the holidays?
fine. That's perfect. As long as you get it adopted before July 1st, then
Yeah, get away
You're
from the
totally
holidays,
fine.
bad news and increases and stuff.
First meeting in February?
As the notice,
As the
date in
public
the letter?
hearing.
Yeah, back it up
Yeah.
with some
And then
February
we could do the week prior to us for a special,
Yeah.
or a workshop.
So public hearing on February 4th, and then a workshop the week before that?
Or 2 weeks, or whatever, however you can fit it in.
And Michael, are you part of those, does your contract include your attendance at the public hearing and workshop, or just a public hearing?
I'd have to double check that to make sure, but I believe it includes both.
Because I would definitely like Michael.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay. What else do we need to give direction on?
That would be the 2 items, the date and the approval of the letter.
Okay. I think that's it. Any other comments or questions? Michael, do you have anything else for us?
I have a question,
Okay, this one.
and I may have missed this. So we're sending the letter out in a mailer, and then are we also emailing?
So it's just
And
mailed,
Canva?
correct, Michael? They handle the notice?
Yeah, it's just would be
And does it have to
mailed.
be a hard copy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So obviously, there can also be no social media to this. We wouldn't post this as a,
Well, I think we should.
We
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yes,
asking
we
if
can
we
do it on our
could
own.
do
We
an
can-
electronic
we
too.
can do social media, we can put it
Yeah.
on the water bills, to look for this letter,
Yeah.
go to the
I think with like an
website.
FAQ,
A pop-up
like,
on the website.
Like, is my water bill going up 10%?
IVRs,
No.
we wanted to send out, we're even working at trying to do like text messages.
Oh,
to
okay.
the IVR, so we might be able to do something like that.
I just wanna make sure we're hitting all the
Updating
avenues
information
possible.
for individuals, so.
yeah, all of the above, for sure. Okay, good.
Thank you.
So I make a motion to approve the notification of the rate study with the additional, to include information about an annual increase
Yep.
is,
And you want that?
yeah, bolded,
Uh-huh,
Right.
bolded in the annual increase.
Right.
Okay.
and also include a workshop prior to the public hearing
In the first meeting in February.
in the first meeting in February. Just do this collectively.
Yeah.
Motion?
Okay, so we actually have a motion on the table
I'll second.
with a second.
Shemente,
Aye.
Brolio,
Aye.
Moncada,
Aye.
Hernan,
Aye.
Sharada.
Aye.
Item B is rural recreation and tourism
Thank you,
program.
Michael.
Thank you,
Okay,
Michael.
thank you, Michael.
And thank you,
And
Juana,
Juana.
thank you
Juana.
so much.
Keep going.
Utica Park and Lightner Mine expansion project update.
Mayor and council members, we're moving right along. Sidewalks are being poured, the gym equipment's been ordered, the pavilion is done. Hard court will be poured late next week. Park Horse Trail has been roughed in. We will talk to you about speed bumps on the 19th. And just a reminder that we do have trees for sale, $500 for a 15-gallon tree if you want it in the memorial of Sundown or just a community tree, and $350 if it's for a veteran. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
It's starting to take shape. It's way cool.
Yeah.
It's
So,
way cool.
Another question is timeline, looks to be from what I've read, we're still on, okay.
Weather permitting?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
natural disaster rain till
Right.
middle of May,
Flooding.
yeah, flooding, locust, yeah,
Yeah, sure, the locusts, we're good.
okay. And it was 500 for trees?
500
for
for a
veterans?
15-gallon tree, that includes the plaque, and
Okay,
$350 if it's for a veteran.
350 for that.
Well, you mean if the tree is in okay.
What's the deadline for that?
ASAP.
Well, because we're doing our veterans vouchers
Oh, okay,
in 2 weeks.
okay.
And so I could just promote it. when we do
Okay,
that.
we're also looking at doing one of the benches for the veterans also,
The benches were 1,500,
our 1,500.
and we still have room for those, right?
Yes,
1,500 for a bench?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, public comment on the park. Anybody? Nope,
One
online?
There's one.
Yeah. Any public comment online about the park? Okay, seeing no public comment, bring it back to council. Any final questions or directions? Okay, we'll move on to item 10, administration report.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the, item 10A is the monthly report. It's in your packet. I don't want to go over the whole thing, but just point out a couple of things for you, the significant ongoing projects on the first page. And then just below that, the current CIP project. We have both Mark Twain Road looping pipes, which is a CIP project. Those engineering plans have been submitted and they're being reviewed, and the expected completion date is third quarter of 2025 to get that completed. And we're not gonna wait for that project to get completed before we start the next one down, which says next CIP Vallecito sewer line upgrade. That is a more involved project, and it will run concurrent with the Mark Twain. So after we get a couple of months into the Mark Twain project, we're also gonna start the Vallecito sewer project, and that will be a longer term project. But CIP projects are getting engineered and scheduled for completion.
Thank you.
We also have in October some noteworthy accomplishments. We have the first use of our crack sealing machine, which we purchased some time ago. We actually got some use out of the machine this last month around the area of, what's the road right off the high school?
Leeway, Murphy's Grave, Casey's Street.
Yes. Yes.
No,
It's
they
all
didn't package
the
them.
streets around Gardner. That's what I
Okay,
was
all
trying to
those
think of.
streets around.
And they're also going to do Gardner, but they got those side streets around Gardner done first.
Okay.
Then they're gonna do Gardner. So it was good to see that we got that scheduled and got that first use of that machine under our belt. We also started the Measure A went into effect starting in October, and you probably noticed all the benches and all the trash cans downtown have been replaced with the upgraded and better
Are
looking version.
the old ones are still down there?
I had a conversation about why are those old ones down there, and I need to nail down, I can't figure out why they're down there.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
just a courtesy that?
No, they need to
They were
go.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
but
was actually talking to Dave today about the one sitting right here in the corner. Dave thinks to believe that those belong to Cal Waste, but Cal Waste actually purchased those on a grant for the city
Yeah.
years ago. They, I believe, belong to us, we just need to move them.
Right, the whole idea with the new trash cans is people can't put their home
Correct.
garbage into them, which is what's currently happening with the cans downtown. Yes, that was the confusion for me too.
And what about old benches? Were those supposed to be removed once the new benches went in? I thought the letter that went out, I had read,
Can go.
advised.
I don't know anything about the old benches. I'm working on the old trash cans, but the old benches, I don't know who
I
those
think
are.
part of it was, so in front of Signal Service, they tested out the benches and the benches came out too far for
Oh,
ADA.
for ADA.
So they
They
put
put it around the
our
corner.
bench around the corner and they're letting them keep their benches in the front, is from what I understand. But I don't know if that's,
I can work on the old
Valid
benches too. I am working on the
information.
trash cans and we'll figure out who's responsible and get those removed. And then work on the benches as well. Other than that, lots going on in here. I do want to thank all of the department heads for contributing information to this. The idea of this is to keep you guys aware on a monthly basis of all the activity. This isn't all the activity. More significant activity throughout the city so that, work goes noticed and you guys are aware of what each of these departments are doing. So thank you to all the directors for continuing to contribute every month to this. Thank you very much. That's the end of my report.
So these are tentative dates, like with Chris O'Flynn doing the automated meter readers starting November 1st. Are we actually starting to install those?
He has started the project, so
Okay.
he started both the pressure relief valve project as well as the automated meter reader
Okay.
project. Started, meaning getting quotes for the contractors to complete the work. So work has started on both those. Not the actual replacement hasn't started.
Okay.
But all of the preparatory work
The
that we need to
preparatory.
do before the contractors go out there and do the work.
And are we still, I'm sorry.
That's okay, I was just gonna add, any meter that gets replaced in the city is only replaced with a smart meter.
With a smart meter.
Yeah.
And are we still hopeful that the pressure relief valves will come under the projected cost?
We are very hopeful. It will go. We anticipate significantly under the cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any public comment? Seeing none. Item D is traffic mitigation study. Steve?
Okay, thank you very much. So, thank you to Amy for reaching out to the person that needed to be reached out to find out what you guys wanted to know the cost of a new traffic mitigation study. So as we bring back, we anticipate next meeting, as we bring back our schedule of fees to you, one of the things that you wanted us to work on is the traffic fees. And that requires a new traffic mitigation study, and the estimate is somewhere in the area of $20,000 to $25,000 for a new traffic mitigation study if we want that done. So I just wanted to report back to you that we did do some research. We have some estimated costs. So if that's something you want us to pursue, $20,000 to $25,000 to get that study done.
So, Michelle, how much money have we collected with traffic mitigation?
The traffic-
Right off the top,
It's
right off
over
the
$1
top.
million.
Oh, we have over $1 million.
Yeah, what did I tell you, Amy?
Yeah, it was up there
Right
somewhere.
there, yeah.
That's from the permit fees? We've collected over $1 million?
That's what
I
we
can see
have in the
why.
fund.
Jeez,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
And would it be an appropriate cost to do another traffic mitigation using those funds
Right.
to fund the next study, Michelle?
I would think so, yeah. That would be allowable.
And how long has this fee been in effect? Is this
16.
since 2016? 8 years. Holy manners.
It's been this high? Well, no, they've raised it each year, a percentage that they agreed to. Okay.
That's CIP.
That's the
That's
thing I
it.
was gonna
Right,
say.
if
is
you do the
that
study and it says we're low, then,
Oftentimes with these studies, it doesn't always give the results you anticipated.
Right.
like some
But you also-
speed studies.
But
we
is
did
it like
down here.
this 218 where you don't have to accept the higher
For
the
sure.
rate? You
Yeah.
can say, you know what, actually, we're gonna cut our traffic
It's just
mitigation
one of those
fees
things,
by
like,
half.
be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
I would hate for it to say we should be collecting
No,
Twice that.
it's the rate, correct?
in the rates.
Sorry, it has to do with the capital improvement list that you put together as to what.
For all those
So that drives
projects?
it, okay.
And we're looking for grants for a good portion of those, so.
I would like to keep it tabled a little bit until maybe after the first of the year to look at it. What do you think?
I'm okay with that. I just think, having read that plan, you know, I would love for us to really redefine what our priorities.
Oh, if
Not,
we-
not 25 stoplights, but, you
Right.
know, connector roads and things that would promote public health and safety. And can we define, I'm gonna look at both of you at once here, can we define how the study goes and what we wanna focus on? Or do
Yes,
they come back with everything?
no, we tell them what we want to fund.
So last time we told them
Yes.
And
Okay.
did all of that happen
Did they,
from 2016's study? Did we do all of the CIP that we listed
No.
that we're gonna do?
no,
No.
That was gonna
when you
fund?
do that CIP, you're looking like 50 years down the
Okay.
road.
Oh, 50
You don't
years.
have to. You
Gotcha.
can like maybe say, hey, let's do the next 20 or the next
Right.
15.
Are we delinquent right now with any of these fees that you needed us to look at? Because I think we decided we were just going to do the,
We're gonna bring that to the next meeting.
Okay.
council meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Any public comment on traffic mitigation? Seeing none. Item C is 584 South Main. Steve?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. 584 South Main is the former City Hall. At the last council meeting, you guys gave direction to contact a couple of realtors, maybe look at a roofing company or two, and see what it would take to get that fence down from around the property. So staff has contacted a couple of realtors. Appointments have been scheduled for realtors to do a walkthrough, so that you guys can have an as-is price to just consider if we want to invest further funds into that building and that property, or just try to sell it as is, or come up with some other option. Staff has also contacted the fence company and determined that they need a 1 to 2 week lead time to come and take down the fence. We just want to make sure that it is going to remain a safe space after that fence is taken down. So we need to make sure all the steps and all the processes are in place to ensure that that can be a safe space once the fence is taken down before we actually take the fence down. But we do know that it could be taken down with about 1 to 2 weeks notice. So we will come back to you at probably the next council meeting with some preliminary numbers from the realtors and perhaps from a roofer, just so you have something to, some information to go on and give some direction what you want to do with that property.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to plant a seed with the council for further discussion about maybe talking to Sierra Hope and some of our other nonprofits to see if they'd be willing to make it a resource center, and then enter into some kind of legal agreement with them that, they maintain it, but, maybe it could become a one-stop. I know Sierra Hope just received $250,000. And, maybe behavioral health could come up once a week and meet with our clients, or another food banks. I know that the current one in the city is struggling with their location. But I just want to maybe brainstorm, how could we use that building as a resource for our citizens? And what would that look like?
Well, maybe Sierra Hope would want to buy it.
Well, that, yeah.
That's what
I
I'm all
don't really
for
want,
it.
I don't really want to own the
I don't don't want to be a landlord.
I don't
again.
I don't-
either, it's not
but-
our,
At all.
it's
And
not
we have to
our.
offer it as,
We can talk about it.
yeah, we have to offer it as
Yeah.
surplus, and I would,
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yes.
Sierra Hope
if they want
has,
to take it,
they have donors who have deep pockets for
Right.
them, so
Right.
that would be a great place to
Right.
go to see if they could purchase it, and then we are relinquished from all of that.
But I-
liability.
or the resource connection,
Yeah.
there's a,
No, there are.
there's a whole lot of organizations could probably use that building.
Yeah.
And I would love to give it to them at a, whatever that surplus property price is. I just don't know who or how we do it, but I would love to see that. That would be amazing.
So anyway, just to plant a seed, and we can talk further about what that would look like. But that, it shouldn't preclude what you're trying to do, Steve, either. I think, you
No,
know,
because we still have to establish
yeah,
the
we
right,
still have
and then the
to, yeah, and then
surplus
decide.
is determined. Okay, public comment on 584 South Main. Seeing none, anybody else have anything on South Main? Okay, item D is the city officials handbook. Steve.
Thank you. The last item I have is just an update on the city officials handbook. So that was provided to you from our city attorney, I believe at the last meeting, maybe 2 meetings ago, I can't remember, but today is the deadline to get your comments to me if you want modifications considered by the city attorney's office, and you can still do it today or tomorrow. I will probably send off all of the comments to the city attorney tomorrow. So it still gives you a little bit of time if you haven't already. If you have anything that you would like to see different or need some clarification on, this is the step where we get that new information or that clarification from the city attorney, and then we bring it back at another meeting, and then we finally bring it back at another meeting after that for final adoption, with the goal being by the first meeting in January, you have a new city officials handbook for the city council
Okay,
and all your commissions.
thanks. Work in
Thanks.
progress.
Thanks for meeting with me, Steve, and
Oh, yeah,
I appreciate that.
good questions.
Okay, public comment on the handbook. Seeing none, and nobody else has anything to say, we can move on to item 11. This is our council report. We'll start with you, Caroline.
I have nothing to report. Utica got canceled and COG got canceled.
Oh,
It was a great month.
I also have no report. Isabel?
I don't have anything to report. I know we have COG tomorrow and Alvin is going to go in my place. The Bret Hart boys water polo completed their season 21-0 and they're in the playoffs and the game is tomorrow at Bret Hart. So I will be there supporting my nephew.
Nice.
very cool. Your nephew's in high school?
He's graduating, he's a senior.
He's a senior?
That's part of why, yeah.
Holy man.
Alvin?
Nothing to report.
Okay, Mike.
I attended ribbon cutting for our new chiropractor and masseuse, and I thought it was very nice to meet those folks, and she served a wonderful dinner to those present. So that was fun.
Yeah. Okay. We have calendar, Rose.
So November is up there for you. I did add the groundbreaking at the Board of Supervisors noon on the 12th. This is for the monuments.
It's been rescheduled.
Is it again?
Yep, there's a meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
I have seen the
Tom
wayfinding
Murphy's.
signs
Yeah, those are way
too.
cool.
Those are cool. Those
The
look
one
great.
here in Angels looks great too.
Yeah, those are way cool.
Okay. And then, you're planning CSED. We do have a holiday, 3 holidays, right? So Veterans, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. So moving into December, I did list the 17th as a council meeting, but we originally had decided not to have that meeting. I have an X on my
What?
other calendar.
Oh, what does
So,
matter?
if there's still,
With the movement on city administrator, that's my only concern about not
correct,
having.
we can leave it.
I'd leave it there for
We
now.
can leave it,
Yeah, just
so,
leave it and we can
yeah,
decide
okay.
as it gets closer.
So there's my December then, for now.
Okay.
How is the implementation of the new accounting software?
So I'm putting together a report, I'll give you monthly to update you.
Okay,
But we met today with the consultant for 4 hours, Rose and I, and we started implementation. We started planning the new general ledger, and we put together dates and times to meet our time frame of like when we're gonna roll different sections out. And we have another meeting on Thursday for 4 hours to continue with the implementation, so we're moving right along.
Yeah.
you know, I just want to commend staff, you guys, for staff morale, dressing for Halloween and all that you guys do. I think that's important.
Thank you.
It's important for staff morale and just, it just is fun thing
It
to
is.
do.
Uh-huh.
And, you know,
It keeps the staff happy.
Yeah, it
Staff
does.
that really enjoys
It does.
participating.
I especially like Steve's costume.
So I gotta know, what were you?
Steve.
Disco
I have a
queens.
She was
whole-
Steve.
You have pictures?
We have
Is there
pictures of 3 of us, but Steve, tell your story.
So it was a Halloween disco theme, right?
Yeah.
70s disco. And I had this whole thing, I had a big, huge wig, I had a necklace that said disco, I had a funky shirt, I had a little cane that I was gonna,
Little pimp.
I left it in Troy.
You left it
I got up on the day to put it all on, and it wasn't there.
Bummer.
So I told them that I'm gonna come in one day just for no reason.
Yeah.
You crushed blue velvet
Mid-November?
suit.
And Gertie the frog out front,
Yeah.
she even became a disco queen.
Yeah, she
Atta girl.
Fro and, yeah, chains, and, yeah. It's
That's
good
fun.
for disco ball.
Yep.
Okay, so that touched on future agenda items. We also have the updated fee schedule for future agenda items.
Yes.
What else?
Oh, I had, something, so the next council meeting, the school's having a safety meeting, community-wide safety meeting. And so I just wanted to, find out if we can work closer to not have them on the same day as a council meeting. Because I think this is one of many that they're going to start having, so I don't know if we can maybe make sure that we're not on the same night.
I don't know, how would you do
We
that?
asked
Unless
the
you-
school to not have it on.
Well,
the
because our
council meeting.
police chief is part of it, our fire chief, so the city is part of it, so can we collaborate, so maybe it's not on a Tuesday night, the same night as a council night? Maybe a
Oh, you
Wednesday
want
night?
them to ask for her, we can't change our meetings.
No,
But
yeah.
we
Hard
can
to
ask,
change.
have them
Well,
ask.
just, yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to be able to participate in the safety meeting for the, I mean, the school's in the city, so it would be great to have that participation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already brought it up to Scott, and he was like, oops, sorry. Okay.
Any other future agenda items? Steve, do you have others?
I do not, thank you.
Anybody have anything to think
I'm
about?
good right now.
Okay. Any final public comment? All right, seeing none, I'm looking for an adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Shemente,
Aye.
Ferolio,
Aye.
Moncada,
Aye.
Herman,
Aye.
Sharada.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.